Good afternoon, students. This is Arindam Bag here, and I hope you are safe in your place and you are maintaining the COVID protocols in your place. I hope everybody is fine in your place and healthy in your place. So we are in a difficult time. We know that. So we have opt for a different medium also. So you know this medium. I am maintaining this medium for the last 1 year, more than 1 year, I guess. So here it is. Our topic is today Henrik Ibsen. If you check your syllabus, you will find a topic from Henrik Ibsen. There is a particular play we have here, The Ghost. So Henrik Ibsen was born in the year 1828, 28th March, and he passed away on 23rd May 1906. So here's the picture of Henrik Ibsen, old fellow. So who was he? We have some. This presentation is a preliminary idea about Henrik Ibsen. I didn't discuss about the details of his life. I tried to keep the presentation about his achievements, about his important works, about his influence, and some other informations which is related to his career. I didn't mention anything about his personal life. So this is basically about the author Henrik Ibsen. So he was basically a Norwegian playwright and a theatre director. So is obviously it do not consider in this way that as he is included in English literature or near English honors syllabus, he is definitely from England. No, not all the authors were from England. Some of them were from Ireland, such as W.B. Yeats. He was from Ireland. Now in this case, Henrik Ibsen, he was from Norway. What we say in Bengali, Nishit Surjet Desh, isn't it? Norway. So he was basically a playwright and a theatre director. So and he's also one of the founders of modernism in theatre. So there's been a reformation in the theatre world, isn't it? So if you see the theatres of Shakespeare, then if you see the theatres of Ibsen, you will find definitely some differences out there. So every author, every playwright, when they try their hand, when they are creating some new plays, at their time they are introducing something new. So in this case, there's a particular movement which was started at that time, and that movement was known as modernism in theatre. It was introduced, or he was one of the forefathers or founders of modernism in theatre. Even Ibsen is sometimes he has been referred as father of realism, because the realism is every time present in every aspect, but the way he presented it is out of the world. It is something which we never expect to be present on our theatres. And he was one of the most influential playwrights of his time. Obviously, a person like him, he must have enormous influence on the others. There is a list of his major work you can see, which starts from Brand and it ends till The Master Builder. In between we have a particular topic we are having here, The Ghost. This one, it has been prescribed in your syllabus. We will be dealing with that one. You can have this name. I collected all these things from Wikipedia. It is available over there. I made this presentation from the available reference or informations from Wikipedia page. It's very easy to get all the things over there. So please visit for the original website if you want to browse more, if you want to know more about him. So there are a few words about the author. The next slides will continue like this. Such as Ibsen is most frequently performed dramatist in the world after Shakespeare. Remember in my previous slide I made a comparison between Shakespeare and Ibsen. So he is one of the most famous dramatists whose dramas are frequently performed after Shakespeare. So his Doll's House was the most performed play in 2006. So the number of time it has been played, it is enormous. And in 2006 it was considered to be the most performed play in 2006. And later several dramas were considered. He had a tendency to introduce realism or reality in his drama. So there were many ideas, many relationship, many things which the previous playwrights never attempted, but he attempted. So that's why at that time some of the dramas were considered to be scandalous to many of his era. When European theatre was expected to model strict morals of family life and property, but he was presenting something else. I remember another novelist I would like to mention about D.H. Lawrence. So D.H. Lawrence, there was a particular novel which is known as The Lady Chatterley's Lovers. Pardon my voice. Lady Chatterley's Lover. And Lady Chatterley's lover was accused as obscene lover because there was some relationships which was not accepted at that moment. So Ibsen's latter, and there was another novel also, Sonson's Lover also, it was also very controversial. So both of them were written by D.H. Lawrence. Ibsen's latter work examined the realities that lay behind the facets, revealing much that was disquieting to a number of his contemporaries. Yes, obviously he didn't bother about this criticism. He carried it away, and he carried it on, and later on all of them silenced. So next is had a critical eye. He had a very critical eye and conducted a free inquiry into the condition of life and issues of morality. The idea of morality is very big. You know, recently we have a very famous web series, The Family Man 2, casting is a very talented actor, Manoj Bajpayee. He said something very beautiful over there, that who is terrorist, it depends on the government and it depends on the people. So for some people they are freedom fighters, for some people they are terrorists. So this is something which was never presented in any of the web series. It was like a one-sided story all the time. But in this time, the director of this web series, they presented a very balanced view over there. Now, why I mentioned about these moralities, the issues of morality in Ibsen also, the thing which we may consider as wrong, for some people it is considered to be right, and for us which is right, for some people it is wrong. So the issues of morality, it is also been, he had a very critical eye and conducted a free inquiry about it. Often ranked as one of the most distinguished playwrights in the European tradition, obviously a figure like that, a person who is considered to be the father of modernism, obviously he will be ranked among the most distinguished playwrights. He is widely regarded as the foremost playwright of the 19th century. Yes, he is the forefather. He is a big man in his time. Now, there is a list. We can see a lot of name over here. Some of them received Nobel Prize also. I know George Bernard Shaw received Nobel Prize in the year 1925. So you can assume that how influential he was. Characters like George Bernard Shaw, Oscar Wilde, Arthur Miller, James Joyce, Eugene O'Neill. Some of them received Nobel Prize, or I don't know that. I'm not sure whether all of them got it or not. But Bernard Shaw got it, received Nobel Prize in the year 1925. That is for sure. And he is also a very famous person. Just try to understand the enormous effect of Ibsen on these people, that who were influenced. People like George Bernard Shaw, Oscar Wilde, Arthur Miller. He was also a dramatist, Arthur Miller. James Joyce is another, we have a short story of James Joyce, the Arabic. Apart from, there is a fiction also, Finnegan's Wake, Ulysses and other things. Eugene O'Neill, he wrote Emperor Jones, I read this one, it's fascinating. The character of Emperor Jones is, nicely presented. Eugene O'Neill, Arthur Miller, Eugene O'Neill, both of them were American. So he influenced these people who are big names actually. We say big shots. So he was nominated for the Nobel Prize thrice, 1902, 1903 and 1904. So then we have some other informations also. He wrote most of his plays in Danish. It was the common written language in Denmark and Norway during his lifetime. That's why it was published, it was written in Danish. They were published by the Danish publisher. This is a difficult name. I will try to pronounce it. I hope I do it correctly. Gyldendal. Gyldendal. This is a Danish name, obviously. Most of his plays were set in Norway. Even in The Ghost, you will find that the atmosphere over there, it is always raining and has a very gloomy atmosphere over there. Often in places, reminiscents of Skien. Skien is a particular place. It's a port town where he grew up. So he used the background of Skien where he grew up. Ibsen lived for 27 years in Italy and Germany and rarely visited Norway during his most productive years. When he was producing most of his dramas, he didn't spend time there in Skien, but he was actually living in Germany and Italy. Ibsen's dramas were informed by his own background in the merchant elite of Skien. That is also true. We will find that the atmosphere, settings, the market, the surroundings, they are resembling the place Skien, which is a port town where he grew up. He often modeled or named characters after family members. He was the father of Prime Minister Sigurd Ibsen. So later on his son becomes the prime minister. Ibsen's dramas had a strong influence upon the contemporary culture. Obviously, a person like him who is kind of creating a new sort of literature, new sort of ideology has been placed through him. So definitely he must have a strong influence on his contemporary culture. So on 23rd May 1906, Ibsen died in his home at Arbins Gate, one in Christiania, now Oslo, after a series of strokes in March 1900. So he was suffering from 1900 and suffered several strokes. On 22 May, his nurse assured a visitor that he has a little better. Ibsen spluttered his last word, "on the contrary." This is the last word he said. Actually, he said it perhaps in Danish. That is, you can see that, Vati mode or something like that. He died on the following day at 2:30 p.m. Ibsen was buried in Var Freslers Gravland, the graveyard of our Savior in central Oslo. So this is the story, or this is the this is some important. These are some important information about Henrik Ibsen. Later on, we will be dealing with the drama Ghost itself. And I hope you like this presentation. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel and help my channel to grow. Thank you for watching this video.